Alright fellas, so today's video we're going to talk about exactly why you want to be an asshole, not a nice guy. Now, the only reason I'm even saying this is because of the way nice guys and assholes are perceived. Alright, so in reality, what's considered an asshole is someone who puts himself first, which in my opinion is not an asshole. Being someone who has your best interests at heart, being someone who's proactive, being someone who wants the best for yourself, a lot of times you're going to come off as an asshole, right? Even though you're not an asshole. Like for example, a lot of times me just prioritizing myself, sometimes I have to have awkward conversations with people. Sometimes, family might disapprove. You might have a girlfriend, she might disapprove with your decision, but you're focused on your long-term vision and you realize that nobody can reach your goals but yourself. No one's responsible for your goals but you, right? That's what you're seeing. But from a perspective, from an outside perspective looking in, everyone thinks you're an asshole, right? Everyone around you thinks you're an asshole. Like I said, even when I was working, when I was working in different nursing homes doing agency, I know a lot of nurses were just like, yeah, that nurse is a fucking asshole, right? But they respected my boundaries because I was very straightforward and assertive with what I wanted, right? And in those kind of situations, you're not trying to appease everybody. You're trying to set your boundaries, obviously, but you want respect, right? Not acceptance, right? You want respect. All right? I prefer respect in those situations. A lot of situations, like a lot of you guys get disrespected over and over and over again, it's because you're not willing to put your foot down, right? Because you don't want to be an asshole, you want to be a nice guy, right? These are just, the connotations behind these words. Because in reality, a nice guy is a gentleman, and a lot of like what an actual nice guy is usually someone who protects and provides, and they usually have a great life. What a nice guy is perceived as is, like a simp. That's what a nice guy is perceived as. And then an asshole is literally someone who puts himself first and is usually just trying to grind, trying to get their shit together, right? But from the outside looking in, they're an asshole, right? But like I said, a lot of times in the nursing home, they'll be like, hey, can you pick up an extra shift? And I'm like, no. Because every single day, especially since I was locking in, paying off my debt, working on my business, getting leaner, dealing with some relationship issues, just going through a lot of shit. Like I had everything planned out. Everything was planned out for the whole entire week. So when I wasn't working my 5 days, those 2 days, there was so much shit packed in there that if they're like, hey man, we need an extra day, I'm like, no. Because then that's going to set me back from my other plans, right? And then I'm literally going to be putting myself last in that situation. Everything's going to get worse. A lot of times we have issues because we don't set boundaries, right? And when people cross those boundaries, now we become uncomfortable and we get in situations that we don't want to be in. So it's very, very important to set your boundaries, right? And the way it helped me, the thing that helped me is, of course, I read The Art of Saying No and The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Those books really fucking helped with that mindset, because in my head, I'm like, damn, bro, I don't want to come off as an asshole. And those books just kind of like put it straightforward, like, no, when you say no to others, you're saying yes to your fucking self. And I was never saying yes to myself, right? Especially as a nurse. We all know that you prioritize the patients, not yourself, even though realistically you're supposed to prioritize yourself and then help the patients, because if you die, all the patients die, which is bad. But you're just taught to serve others and, who cares about yourself kind of thing. And that's the kind of mentality I was getting into. And that's exactly why I had to, in my head, I had to be like, all right, I gotta act like an asshole so I can set my boundaries, because it feels uncomfortable. Saying no to others feels uncomfortable. When someone comes in town and they hit you up and they expect you to say yes and you say no, like if they hit you up, they're like, hey yo, I'm in town, bro, so in a couple of days, I know we haven't seen each other in a while, bro, let's go out to drink and then we'll go here. When you say no to that because you have other shit to do, right? Or you gotta de-stress, or you gotta get sleep so you can wake up the next day, hit the gym before work. Like when you say no to that, that's gonna throw a curveball. They're gonna be like, what the fuck? But at the same time, that's gonna help you and that's gonna help you propel forward. Because I'm gonna keep it a beam with you guys. Like when you're on this journey, you're literally, when you're on this journey, you're rare as shit. All right, you're super, super, super fucking rare. When you are on this journey, this fitness journey, nobody's doing this shit. Nobody's locked in like you. All right, nobody's locked in like you. It's very rare for me to see someone super locked in on their journey. And the way you can tell is just, all you gotta do is, best two scenarios is in the gym, look in the gym, and also look in the grocery store. Like when you look in the gym, if someone is doing organized sets, like if they're doing a body part, right? Like if they're doing legs and they're going to all leg machines, if they're doing back, they're going to all back machines, and they're timing everything, they're locked in with it. They're not just sitting on their phones watching movies and shit. They're locked in, right? And that's actually rare. When I go to the gym, I usually have an organized workout. And sometimes someone will see me, they'll be like, that guy has pretty good shoulders, he has pretty good abs. Let me copy what he does and then, see what else he does, like that kind of thing, right? A lot of people are just kind of aimlessly going around the gym. Same thing with the grocery store. People just like stand in aisles and shit. Like they're like someone turn off their battery. They don't have a grocery list. They're not organized. They're not intentional. All right. So when you're on this fucking journey, you're intentional. A lot of people aren't intentional. And one thing about being intentional is that it's gonna throw everyone else off because everyone else is kind of making plans on the fly, and you have all your plans are based on where you want to be in 6 months. All your plans are based on where you want to be in a year. All your plans are based on where you want to be in 5 fucking years. You see what I'm saying? Like, and people aren't gonna understand that grind, so they're gonna be like, oh, I guess you're too cool to come out with me. It's like, nah, nigga, I got shit to do. I don't make plans at the last minute because I have a vision of where I want to be. I'm not just fucking around like you are. You see what I'm saying? So it's super, super important that you realize that, yes, putting yourself first is very, very important. And it's actually going to benefit a lot of people that you love as well, because now you can offer them more. But while you're in the process, you are going to look like an asshole. People are going to call you an asshole. You are going to come off as an asshole, all right? Because you're not saying yes to everything. Literally, when you say yes to everything, it's the worst fucking case scenario. Like I always say, when you say yes to everyone else, you're saying no to yourself, right? When you ensure that everyone else is happy, you ensure that when you try to please everybody else, you ensure that everyone else is happy except yourself. You're gonna be super mad at yourself. You're gonna be throwing off your goals. You're gonna feel misaligned with your goals and all that shit. All right, so it's super, super important that you make sure that you actually lock the fuck in. All right, what does locking in mean? Locking in means basically going ghost mode. You're gonna say no a lot. You're not gonna be going to every party. You're not gonna be saying yes to everybody. You're gonna be the best version of yourself. And the thing is, that is literally saying no is a muscle that's gonna be built over time. All right, saying no is a muscle that's gonna be built over time. Being disciplined is a muscle that's gonna be built over time. So yeah, in the beginning it feels weird. You see what I'm saying? People are gonna try to hold you in your old identity when you're trying to create your new identity. They're gonna say, shit like, nah, bro, Luther, you used to always come out with us, bro. Stop playing, bro. Yeah, he'll come out. He'll definitely come out, bro. I know him. It's like, nah, nigga, you don't know this new version of me, bro, that I wrote down in my journal. I wrote out these goals. You don't know this new version of me that I'm affirming every fucking morning, right? You don't see the work I'm putting in, all right? Like they say, trees grow in silence. You feel me? They grow in silence, but when they fall, it's loud, all right? But they grow in silence, bro. So you are gonna have to do the same thing. You're gonna have to grow in silence, right? You're gonna have to. That's why they call it monk mode. Is because you're prioritizing yourself and you're not like you're just doing shit in silence, right? Because in reality, sometimes people will see you in the gym, but let's be honest, you're not always gonna see the same people, right? You have no one else holding you accountable but yourself. What you do when no one's looking, which is integrity. What you do when no one is looking is the literal. That's where you get the fucking results. What you do when no one's looking. That's silence, bro. Like when it's 9 p.m. When it's 9 p.m. on a Saturday night, you know what I'm saying? Things are going pretty good. Work is going pretty good. You know what I'm saying? You have your day off. You might have just had a little shorty over or something like that, or shorty wants to come over. You're gonna be feeling good. You're gonna want to get some ice cream, man. You know what I'm saying? You'll be like, hey, let me get some ice cream. I deserve this shit. That's when you say fuck no and you lock in. All right. That's when you say fuck no and you lock in. Now, I ain't say fuck no to the shorty. I said fuck no to the ice cream. If it's going over your calories, if you're getting too comfortable, lock the fuck in, bro. Lock the fuck in. Now I know what you're gonna say. Oh no, it's okay. It's one time. Listen. A lot of you guys have been cheating on have been eating a cheat diet for like the past 10 years. So one ice cream is gonna take you back to that, especially if you've only been locked in for like a week or two. You see what I'm saying? But like I said, you'll have those nights where it's like you have a little hunger pain here and there, and it's like, you know what, I deserve. No, the fuck you don't deserve it. You don't deserve that shit. Just lock in and keep going. Finish the goal, right? Finish the mission. Get lean once. That's all you gotta really do. Once you build that muscle, you get lean once, and that's gonna be your new normal. You maintain that, right? And when you maintain it, guess what? You got more calories to work with. You got more wiggle room. You could throw in a cheat day here and there. You can be more flexible with your meals, and you'll be good. All right? But you got to finish the mission. You got to see it through. A lot of you guys lack the ability to see shit through. Like you start your goals. Your goal is to lose 50 pounds. And you start off, you lose that first 10. And you're like, yeah, I'm locked in. I lost my first 10, man. It's easy to lose the fucking first 10. All right? There's going to be some water weight, especially if you're fat as shit. There's going to be some water weight. Cool. It's gonna be some visceral fat. Cool. Most of it's gonna be water weight. It's gonna be like, yo, like your body's gonna be like, yo, this nigga's moving. That's what your body's doing. That's why you're losing 10 pounds. All right. The first 10 pounds is easy. and you're not losing as much body fat as you are with the first 10, it's like I said, a lot of water weight. So a lot of times people, they finish their first 2-3 weeks of like working out and they're like, damn bro, I'm seeing so much progress. Yo, at this rate, listen, your goal is fat loss. You want to get lean. You want to get shredded, right? You want to get lean. You want to get shredded. So guess what? When you want to get lean and you want to get shredded, like I said earlier, you got to set your boundaries. You got to say no, all that shit. But when you want to get lean and shredded, it's going to take time, because as you lose more fat, it takes longer and longer and longer for you to lose the next bit of fat. So going from 40% to 30%, it's going to be cake. 30 to 20, not too hard. 20 to 15, meh. 15 to 10, Jesus Christ. You see what I'm saying? It's going to take a long time. Another thing is, like, this journey is definitely going to make you come off as an asshole, because people are going to think that you think lower of them because you're always locked in to organized. Like, for example, when people ask me, they're like, hey man, Luther, I know you were available the other week, but you trying to go here that week? And it's like, nah, I can't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm working on business. I got some calls to do. You know, I got to get my workout in. I got to get my meal prep in. I got to get those things done, because that's what keeps me ahead of the game. That's what keeps me locked in. That's what keeps my mindset good, because your food is important. Working out is important. Both of those are important for your mental health, right? Trying to reach my goals. Reaching your goals is very important for your self-confidence, right? Your self-belief, super important. And of course, like I said, I was working on business, making calls and shit. So all that shit is super, super important. I got to prioritize those things. So if someone asks me something that doesn't align with that, or, you know, will kind of mess that up, then obviously if I prioritize those things, I'm gonna keep that going. But to them, they're like, damn, this dude's an asshole. But you being organized, you being intentional is gonna make you come off as an asshole to literally everybody. Now, that's the initial stage. Obviously, it's gonna end up inspiring people. You know, a lot of women are gonna be attracted to it because you actually have your shit together and you're actually doing something, right? Because I used to be that guy that used to literally just chase chicks all the time. I'm just chasing chicks 24/7, got nothing fucking going on, bro. And then I really shifted the gears and I'm like, you know what? I got a lot of shit I want to get done. So let me actually, you know, allocate the time. Easier said than done, by the way. But that's why I said, like, mentally, if you need a lot of help with this, definitely read The Art of Saying No. Like I said, in The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. Those are going to help you prioritize what you literally give a fuck about, number one. And number two, say no in uncomfortable situations to family, friends, coworkers, bosses, managers. Like, you got to start saying no to all those people. All right, you got to start saying no. If you don't say no, you're not going to say yes to yourself. You're not going to get anywhere.